Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Nambo channel. The most savvy XRP investors are already fully situated, or they're making their final preparations right now, because, my friends, we're approaching the part where dreams become reality. And this is... I know. I've been in crypto since November of 2017. It's a long time, and I'm sure so many of you listening have been in the space for years also. And it just feels like what we've been waiting for is never going to come. I get it. It feels like it's just been an eternity. I do understand that. But it only feels like that until one day it does come. And that's why it makes sense to plan for the future. And I also recognize, of course, there's plenty of people listening right now that are brand new to crypto, just found out about it. In which case, kudos to you for learning more, getting acclimated to everything that's going on here, because it's a very complex space. There are a lot of dynamics to consider, and there's never a shortage of things to learn. But we are at this place finally, right now, where the dreams that everybody's had of XRP getting to Moon. Like we're there. We're at the part where in very short order that's going to become reality, if history is to repeat itself, which another way to word it is, if the market moves in tandem like it has for the last 12 years. That's pretty much it right now. And so I want to talk about that, because look here. I mean, here's a headline. I don't really want to read through the whole piece here, but I want to give you an idea of just how big this is also, and this is a train that will not stop. This is the direction that we're going right now. 100 million XRP shifted by Ripple and Binance, while XRP remains above $1. I'm telling you, we're seeing constant headlines like this. And I wasn't in the space half a decade ago, but I do know that half a decade ago, this was not the state of things. There was way less money. Market cap was minuscule compared to what it is today. There's been so much development, yet it still is so early. But even so, it's just fascinating to see such huge amounts of XRP going the world over. And there are big bets on the crypto space by investment professionals, and I want to highlight that, as well as this article, which kind of gets to the point of what I was talking about, because this is the last opportunity to really make sure that your position is what you want it to be, because once this thing goes, it's gone. That's it. Once cryptocurrencies have gone parabolic, it's too late to jump into them. Now that won't stop people, but they're going to get financially wrecked. That's what happens. FOMOing into stuff, whether it's in the stock market or in the world of crypto, it's a bad idea typically, just generally speaking. But look at this headline from Crypto Newsflash. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary all set to double crypto holdings in next quarter. And so Kevin O'Leary, nothing against him here, but he hasn't really gotten particularly involved in crypto until somewhat recently. And a lot of the times when I've seen his public opinions, which of course get picked up on crypto media and mainstream media because he's a famous individual, he's from Shark Tank. I read some of the stuff that he says, or I'll hear him in interviews, and a fair bit of what he says, and I don't mean any offense to him whatsoever, but it just seems like newbie stuff. Like the idea, some of his thoughts just unsophisticated or not sufficiently informed, but he has these opinions here, so hopefully he might change his mind on some stuff as time unfolds here. But he's talking about doubling his crypto holdings in the next quarter. Does he know about market cycles? But look, to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and so definitely don't buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos as a hobby. But look, this is the direction that we're going here. In fact, take a look at this. This is from Bitcoin.com. ARK Invest's Cathie Wood doubles down on $500,000 Bitcoin prediction, discusses crypto regulation. Cathie Wood, the CEO of ARK Investment Management, discussed Bitcoin and crypto regulation in an interview at the SALT conference Monday. Wood is also the firm's founder and CIO. She was asked what Bitcoin will be worth 5 years from now. Wood replied, this is the quote, "If we are right and companies continue to diversify their cash into something like Bitcoin, institutional investors start allocating 5% of their funds into Bitcoin or other crypto, then we believe that the price will be tenfold of where it is today. So instead of $45,000, it would be over $500,000. And so that's the quote. And so look, I don't know exactly what it's going to be 5 years from now, but like, things do pick up. Like things do increase in terms of adoption at an exponential pace. If you just look at a technology bell curve, just Google that if you don't know what it is, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, the initial adoption, initial adopters, yeah, things are progressing, but slowly. But then you hit this inflection point where it just curves upward. And then you get the early majority of people adopting, and that's where like the true boatloads of money are going to come in, and you see this exponential return, asymmetrical return in terms of investment relative to pretty much any other asset, whether it's the United States dollar or precious metals, just anything you can imagine, any sort of equity. But in between, it's going to be really, really, really volatile, and that's the part that people, by and large, just aren't prepared for when they jump into crypto. But yeah, if you're talking about getting to $500,000 from Bitcoin where it is today, a little shy of $50,000 at the time I'm recording this, like you're talking about a separate market cycle, my friends. Like I personally think that you will see a pullback, and Bitcoin's going to drop whatever it is, over 70, 80, maybe 90%, whatever it ends up being. And kind of, as far as the percentage decrease, it depends on how much it runs up in a complete frenzy. The higher it goes, the higher it's going to fall, in terms of dollars and percent, actually. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be like, but you're going to see it way, way, way down. But, you know, if you're talking about financial institutions, now that they understand, I think that they're getting it now, that Bitcoin isn't going to go away, you'll see more people and more financial institutions jumping into the space to invest into Bitcoin and crypto in this coming bear market than did in the previous one. It's going to be that much bigger. And so, yeah, the idea of Bitcoin being at $500,000, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it doesn't sound wacky to me. But where do you think that leaves XRP? Because as long as XRP continues to be useful, I don't think it's ever going to go away. As long as people... And look, I understand people don't sufficiently care about fundamentals today, but they will at some point. And so as long as XRP is consistently useful, then it will be perpetually traded on open markets the world over. So then you might be wondering, XRP already over $1 with way less than 1% of humans on the planet having ever held it. Well, where's it going to be in another 5 years? Like, because what if this market cycle it runs up to $10 or $20 or $30, which a lot of analysts are calling for? Well, what does that mean for subsequent market cycles? Are you looking at a tenfold increase from like, you know, the $10 level? Like, are you talking about like $100 XRP or 120? I'll say I don't know if it's going to happen in the subsequent market, the subsequent market cycle, but I can say that I personally believe that there's way more than enough money on the planet that can enter the space and bid the price of XRP up to that type of level. A 3-digit XRP? Yeah, of course. I don't think that's not a big... And I've long said, even when we were in the bear market, when we had a market cap for the entire asset class of like $175 billion, because it did get down about that low. I mean, I was saying the amount of money, my gosh, the amount of money to pour in here, it's going to be crazy. Like, you're going to see multi-trillion-dollar market caps for individual cryptocurrencies. I've been saying that for the longest damn time, and I still believe it to be true. So XRP, yeah, absolutely. Which is why all the people that are savvy enough to understand what's going on, and I think a lot of you are thinking in similar terms as me, like, want to sell a lot, if not all of your XRP this market cycle on the way to the top, which is perfectly fine and respectable. We're speculators, and if it becomes too big a percentage of our net worth, you want to adjust that risk exposure. That makes all the sense in the world. But even beyond that, though, I think there are people right now that get that XRP even beyond this could be worth substantially more, because crypto is not going away. And XRP is one of the few cryptocurrencies on the planet that actually does something, offers actual utility. There are actually now close to 12,000 cryptocurrencies on the planet, and almost none of them do anything. So I think my investment thesis is okay, with the investment thesis being utility matters and will win the day, even if today isn't that day, because most people just don't care. Now into this from Crypto Newsflash. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary all set to double holdings in next quarter. In a major revelation, popular Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary said that he will be doubling his crypto holdings by the end of this year. Currently, O'Leary's portfolio has 3% exposure to cryptocurrencies. The celebrity investor plans to increase this to 7% by the year end. And here's a quote. I want to raise my exposure to crypto, currently at 3%, to 7% by the end of the year. And so he said that during an interview with CNBC's Capital Connection on Monday. However, O'Leary is keenly waiting for the U.S. authorities to make a decision on cryptocurrencies. And so, he's talking about the regulatory concerns right there. So here's the thing I want to say about that. I'm thrilled that he's in crypto and bringing more attention to it. He's a very famous individual. Nothing against him whatsoever. But if he's going to do this, like, I have a feeling if he doesn't do it sooner than later, he will have tremendous regret. So he says by the end of the year. Well, I mean, if he does it all like pretty much in the next, the coming days or week or two or whatever, maybe that's not such a bad thing. But we don't know. Like when this, does he understand that we're at the tail end of this bull cycle? Does he get that? I've never heard him talk about it. Like, does he understand that there's going to be one final leg up? That's what's probable anyway. And if he waits towards the end of the year to put a bunch of this in, either he's going to put money into something that's already pumped up too much, and hopefully he knows better than doing that, or he's just going to outright miss this, this market cycle. And that's why it's a weird way to word it like that. If he has sufficient knowledge of historically how the markets have behaved, it's weird to say what he just said. Like I would expect to hear something that vague from somebody that doesn't have that much experience in crypto. And I don't mean that to be, again, I want to be clear, like nothing, I'm not saying that to offend him. I mean, not that he's ever going to hear this anyway. He's not. But I'm just saying, this is the last moment this cycle to put money into crypto. Things are going to start popping off in short order. And I don't know if that means like, the next few weeks, or maybe it'll be a few months. But I mean, because look, most of the fireworks in terms of the parabolic price action last market cycle in 2017, the bulk of it really did occur in December. So, if you're talking about doing it towards the tail end of December, if history repeats with a similar timeline, phew. Now, of course, if it happens to be the case that the fireworks don't start until perhaps next year, early next year, first quarter, okay, well then you're fine anyway. But like you're really playing the odds at that point. Like that's quite a risk. I'm just saying, like, if he wants to do it, I'm just kind of surprised he wouldn't just do it now and just get it all over with and be done with it. Because as much as I like dollar cost averaging in, if you understand how market cycles work, unless you're going to like put in a little bit of money every day for a set period of time, like this is not a good time to dollar cost average over a long period of time. Like the fireworks are about to start. And I'm just concerned he may not understand that's going to, or that is likely to be the case. Or maybe he'd disagree. Maybe he would think I'm wrong. I think I'm right. And fine, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm expecting history to repeat. That's the way that I'm looking at this. And so at least, even if he is going to do that, hopefully he does more of it sooner than later. That's what I would think would make more sense at least. And if that's the case, then he's doing what savvy investors are doing, if that's the case. I just can't tell from this for sure. But this is the last moment to buy stuff if you want stuff, because once things pop, it's done. Like, that's the worst time to buy something. Once it started moving up in price in a parabolic fashion, yeah. I mean, buying something once it's moved up, okay. Like, there can be... So, just like, for example, take a look at XRP. Yeah, it's worth over $1 today, and it would have been better to buy it, a year ago when it was at, like, 25 cents. Sure. But, even so, even though it's, the price has increased more than fourfold, it hasn't gone parabolic yet. And so if a crypto is worth a lot more than it was previously, but it hasn't gone parabolic, in my humble opinion, it's not nuts to purchase it. And so that's how I've treated crypto myself. Like when I was buying a bunch of cryptocurrencies earlier this year, that's what I was looking at. I was like, okay, it's more than it was a year ago, but this thing, like the fireworks haven't gone like, off yet, right? So that's what I'm always looking at here when I'm making those types of considerations. I just don't know if he knows that. But yeah, everybody else, I think the people that know what the hell they're doing, they're either fully positioned or they're making their final adjustments and just going to sit back. Everybody else is just going to be a lemming out there, and they're just gonna plunge off a cliff to the death. Like that's what's going to happen. Because look, there will be FOMO and then there's going to be people buying way too high, and then there's going to be the panic selling afterwards. It's just that's what they do. It's the follow the leader thing. The FOMO in and panic sell. It's just not a way to live, but that's what the stereotypical retail investor does, and I refuse I refuse. I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.